Master valuable skills. Your greatest investment. There is one investment that no recession can erase. One investment that no thief can steal. One investment that no economic crisis can take away from you. That investment is your ability, your skills, your knowledge, your value. Many people spend their entire lives chasing money, believing that money is the answer to every problem. They wake up thinking about it. They go to sleep worrying about it. They measure their worth by the number in their bank account. But here's the truth that changes everything. Money is a result. Value is the cause. The world doesn't pay you simply because you need money. The world pays you because you solve problems. The larger the problem you solve, the greater the value you create. And the greater the value you create, the greater the rewards that naturally follow. That's why mastering valuable skills is one of the greatest decisions you will ever make. Think about your favorite entrepreneur, inventor, athlete, or leader. They weren't born extraordinary. They became extraordinary by learning what others refused to learn and practicing what others refused to practice. Behind every success story is an invisible story of preparation. Hours that nobody applauded. Mistakes that nobody celebrated. Failures that nobody remembers. Those quiet moments created the confidence the world eventually noticed. Success always begins in private before it is celebrated in public. Too many people are waiting for motivation before they begin. They say, I'll learn when I have more time. I'll start when I feel ready. Take the course next month. I'll read that book someday. But someday is one of the most dangerous words in the English language because someday often becomes never. Every day you postpone learning is another day someone else is improving. While you hesitate, someone else is studying. Someone else is practicing. Someone else is building the future they once dreamed about. The gap between successful people and everyone else isn't talent, it's consistency. Successful people understand something that many never realize. They know that every hour spent developing themselves pays dividends for years to come. Imagine two people beginning life at exactly the same place. The first spends every evening watching television, scrolling endlessly through social media and waiting for opportunities. The second spends just 1 hour every day learning a valuable skill: communication, leadership, programming, sales, marketing, negotiation, public speaking, financial literacy. After 1 week, there isn't much difference. After 1 month, the difference is still difficult to notice. But after 5 years, their lives are completely different. Not because one person was luckier, not because one came from a better family, but because one invested in becoming more valuable every single day. Small decisions repeated consistently become extraordinary results. Never underestimate the power of one disciplined hour. 1 hour today, 1 hour tomorrow, 1 hour next week. Those hours become months. Those months become years. Those years become mastery. Mastery becomes opportunity. Opportunity becomes success. Most people overestimate what they can achieve in 1 week and underestimate what they can achieve in 5 years. They quit too soon. They expect immediate rewards. But nature teaches us a different lesson. A farmer doesn't plant a seed today and expect fruit tomorrow. The seed grows underground long before anyone can see it. Roots develop first. Strength develops first. Only then does growth become visible. Your skills grow exactly the same way. For a long time, nobody notices your effort. Nobody congratulates you for reading another chapter. Nobody applauds when you practice speaking in an empty room. Nobody cheers while you're learning difficult concepts late at night. But every repetition is building invisible roots. And one day those roots become impossible to ignore. Remember this. Your future income is closely connected to the value you create. If you want to earn more, become more. If you want greater opportunities, develop greater abilities. Stop asking, how can I make more money? Instead, ask, how can I become more valuable? That single question has changed countless lives, because when you become valuable, people search for you. Companies need you. Clients trust you. Opportunities begin knocking on your door. Not because you're lucky, because you prepared yourself. Preparation creates confidence. Confidence creates action. Action creates results. Results create momentum. Momentum creates success. The chain always begins with preparation. Here's another truth many people avoid. Learning is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. Practice is uncomfortable. But regret is even more painful. Imagine reaching the end of your life knowing you never discovered what you were capable of becoming. Imagine realizing your dreams weren't impossible. They simply required skills you never chose to develop. That thought should inspire you to begin today. Because every expert was once inexperienced. Every master was once confused. Every champion once struggled. Nobody begins at the top. The difference is that winners refuse to stay at the bottom. They understand that failure isn't proof they should quit. Failure is feedback. Every mistake teaches something. Every setback reveals another lesson. Every challenge strengthens another part of your character. Instead of fearing mistakes, collect them, study them, improve because of them. The fastest learners are often the fastest achievers because they don't allow failure to become their identity. They simply treat it as part of the process. You don't become stronger by avoiding resistance. You become stronger by facing it. The same is true for your mind. Every difficult book strengthens your thinking. Every presentation strengthens your confidence. Every challenge strengthens your resilience. Growth is earned, not given. So today, make a decision. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting until fear disappears. Start before you're ready. Learn before you're confident. Practice before you're comfortable. Because confidence isn't the starting line. Confidence is the reward for consistent action. The life you dream about isn't built in one dramatic moment. It's built in thousands of ordinary moments where you choose growth over comfort, discipline over distraction, and purpose over procrastination. Today can become the turning point. Not because everything changes today, but because you decide to change today. And that single decision may become the most valuable investment you ever make. The journey to extraordinary success doesn't begin with money. It begins with mastery. It becomes so valuable they can't ignore you. Now let me ask you a question. What separates the people who simply survive from the people who thrive? It isn't luck. It isn't perfect timing. And it certainly isn't the absence of failure. The difference is that one group invests in entertainment while the other invests in education. One group spends years consuming distractions. The other spends years developing abilities. The results may not be obvious today, but time reveals every investment. Think about a blacksmith forging a sword. The steel doesn't become strong by sitting in a comfortable place. It becomes strong because it is heated, hammered, folded, and tested over and over again. Your character is forged the same way. Every difficult challenge is shaping you. Every obstacle is preparing you. Every setback is teaching you something that success alone never could. Don't run from difficulty, learn from it. Because every challenge carries a lesson that can become one of your greatest strengths. The people you admire didn't become exceptional because life was easy. They became exceptional because they refused to let hard times define them. Instead, they allowed those moments to refine them. Here's something successful people understand. Your biggest competitor isn't another person. It's the version of yourself that chooses comfort instead of growth. Every morning you wake up with two choices. Choose comfort or choose progress. Comfort feels good today. Progress builds a better tomorrow. You cannot have extraordinary results while living an ordinary routine. If your daily habits never change, your future probably won't either. The future is built by what you repeatedly do, not by what you occasionally dream about. Imagine waking up 1 hour earlier than everyone else. That single hour becomes your classroom. You read, you study, you practice, you improve. At first, nobody notices. Months pass, friends may even wonder why you're working so hard. But 1 year later, the difference becomes impossible to ignore. You speak with more confidence. You think more clearly. You solve bigger problems. People begin asking, what changed? What changed was simple. You respected the power of consistency. Remember this. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. Anyone can stay motivated for one day. Anyone can work hard for one weekend. But can you stay committed when nobody is cheering for you? Can you continue learning when progress feels invisible? Can you practice when no one is watching? That is where greatness is born. Not in the spotlight, but in the silent hours. There is a dangerous belief that holds millions of people back. They believe talent is everything. They look at successful people and say, they're naturally gifted. They're lucky. They have something I don't. What they fail to see are the thousands of hours hidden behind every achievement, the countless mornings, the repeated failures, the endless practice. Talent may open the first door, but discipline keeps every door open. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. When motivation disappears, discipline keeps moving. Fear appears. Discipline takes another step. When excuses become loud, discipline stays focused. Build discipline and you build freedom, because discipline today creates choices tomorrow. Now think about the skills that shape the modern world: communication, leadership, critical thinking, sales, technology, artificial intelligence, negotiation, problem solving. These are not just skills, they are opportunities. Every business needs people who can communicate clearly. Every organization values those who solve problems. Every leader depends on people who think instead of complain. The more valuable your skills become, valuable your time becomes. Never stop asking yourself, what problem can I solve better than yesterday? That single question will keep you growing for the rest of your life. And here's another truth. Don't chase popularity. Chase usefulness. Popularity comes and goes. Value lasts. If your goal is only to impress people, you'll constantly seek approval. But if your goal is to serve people, success becomes a natural consequence. Serve with excellence. Learn with humility. Practice with patience. Grow with purpose. People who focus only on making money often become frustrated. People who focus on creating value usually discover that money follows value. Become the person who makes life easier for others. Become the person who solves difficult problems. Become the person people trust. Trust is earned through competence. Competence is earned through repetition. Repetition creates mastery, and mastery creates influence. Never underestimate the compound effect of small improvements. One new lesson today, one better habit tomorrow, one extra hour this week. Those small actions may seem insignificant, but years from now, they become the foundation of an extraordinary life. Picture two builders constructing two different houses. One rushes the foundation because nobody will see it. The other spends weeks making sure every brick is perfectly placed. When storms arrive, only one house remains standing. Your skills are your foundation. Don't rush them. Build them carefully. Strong foundations create lasting success. Weak foundations collapse under pressure. Life will test you. There will be moments when you doubt yourself. Moments when you wonder if all your effort is worth it. In those moments, remember why you started. Remember the person you promised yourself you would become. Remember the family you're trying to help. Remember the dreams that once kept you awake at night. Don't quit because the journey is difficult. Continue because the destination is worth it. One day, someone will call you successful. They'll admire your confidence. They'll admire your achievements. They'll admire your lifestyle. But they will never fully understand the quiet sacrifices you made, the weekends you spent learning instead of wasting time, the nights you kept studying after everyone else had gone to sleep, the courage it took to keep going when progress felt invisible. Those unseen moments become your greatest advantage, because while others were waiting, you were preparing. While others were complaining, you were improving. While others were making excuses, you were becoming someone capable of creating extraordinary results. Keep building, keep learning, keep growing, because every valuable skill you master today becomes another key that unlocks tomorrow's opportunities. And remember this, above all else, the world doesn't remember those who wished. It remembers those who prepared. So prepare relentlessly, learn continuously, improve intentionally. Become so valuable that your presence changes every room you enter, every team you join, every business you touch, and every life you influence. That is how greatness is built. One skill, one lesson, one disciplined day at a time. Your legacy is built one skill at a time. Take a moment and imagine your life 5 years from now. Imagine waking up every morning with confidence instead of fear. Imagine walking into any room knowing that your knowledge, your abilities, and your character have prepared you for whatever challenge comes your way. Imagine no longer asking, "Can I do this?" Instead, asking, "How can I do this even better?" That transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens one decision at a time, one book at a time, one lesson at a time, one disciplined day at a time. People often wait for life to become easier before they decide to grow. But life doesn't work that way. Growth is what makes life easier. The stronger your mind becomes, the smaller your problems begin to feel. The better your skills become, the more opportunities begin to appear. The more valuable you become, the less you have to chase success. Success begins to chase you. Never forget this truth. Your greatest asset is not your job. It is not your title. It is not your business. It is not even your income. Your greatest asset is your ability to learn. Everything else can be taken away. Companies can close. Markets can crash. Technology can change. Jobs can disappear. But if you have the ability to learn, adapt, and solve problems, you will always find another opportunity. That is real security. The world is changing faster than ever before. New industries are being created. Old industries are disappearing. The people who survive are not always the smartest. They are the ones willing to keep learning. Never tell yourself, "I already know enough." The moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. Stay curious, ask questions, challenge your own thinking, read books that stretch your mind, listen to people who have achieved what you hope to achieve. Be willing to become a student again and again, because the greatest achievers never graduate from learning. They simply move to the next lesson. There will be days when you feel tired, days when your progress seems invisible, days when you wonder if all this effort matters. Those are the days that define your future. Anyone can continue when everything is exciting. Champions continue when excitement is gone. When discipline replaces emotion, success becomes inevitable. Don't measure your life by how fast you're moving. Measure it by the direction you're heading. A slow step towards your purpose is still progress. A small improvement repeated every day is still transformation. Never despise small beginnings. Every giant tree began as a tiny seed. Every skyscraper began with a single brick. Every masterpiece began with one simple stroke. Every successful life began with one decision. Maybe today is that decision for you. Maybe today is the day you stop making excuses. Maybe today is the day you stop doubting yourself. Maybe today is the day you decide that your future deserves your best effort. You don't need to have all the answers. You only need the willingness to keep learning. Think about the people who depend on you, your family, your children, your future team, the people whose lives you haven't even touched yet. The skills you develop today are not only for your benefit, they become tools to help others tomorrow. The teacher changes lives because they mastered teaching. The engineer changes lives because they mastered engineering. The entrepreneur creates jobs because they mastered business. The leader inspires hope because they mastered communication and character. Your skills are bigger than you. They become your contribution to the world. So don't settle for average. Average thinking creates average results. Average effort creates average opportunities. If you want an extraordinary life, you must become an extraordinary learner. Read one more chapter. Practice one more hour. Ask one more question. Improve one more skill. Those extra moments are often the difference between ordinary and exceptional. Never compare your journey to someone else's highlight reel. Everyone has a different starting point. Everyone faces different battles. The only comparison that truly matters is this. Are you better today than you were yesterday? If the answer is yes, then you're winning. Keep going. One day people will see your success and think after quickly. They won't see the mornings when you chose learning over sleeping. They won't see the nights when you studied while others were distracted. They won't see the failures that strengthened your character. But you will. And you'll know that every sacrifice had a purpose. Every setback carried a lesson. Every difficult season prepared you for a greater opportunity. When success finally arrives, don't stop growing. Success is not the finish line. Growth is a lifelong commitment. The most dangerous moment is when you think you've learned enough. Stay humble, stay hungry, stay teachable. The world belongs to those who continue improving long after others become comfortable. Remember, the goal is not simply to earn more. The goal is to become more disciplined, more knowledgeable, more resilient, more courageous, more valuable. Because when you become more, your life naturally expands, your influence grows, your confidence grows. Your opportunities grow, and the impact you leave on others grows as well. Years from now, people may not remember every word you spoke. They may not remember every achievement you earned, but they will remember how your work, your leadership, and your example made their lives better. That is a legacy. A legacy isn't built in one extraordinary moment. It's built in thousands of ordinary moments where you chose growth instead of comfort, learning instead of excuses, and purpose instead of procrastination. So as you leave this moment, make yourself one promise. Never stop investing in yourself. Never stop sharpening your mind. Never stop developing the gifts you've been given, because the world doesn't need another person waiting for the perfect moment. The world needs people who are willing to prepare before the opportunity arrives. The future you've been dreaming about is not waiting for luck. It is waiting for the person you are becoming. Start today. Stay consistent tomorrow. Keep learning for the rest of your life. Master valuable skills. Master your habits. Master your mindset. And when you master yourself, there is no limit to the life you can build. The next chapter of your story begins now. Make it a story worth remembering.